What is up, guys? Luke back again with another Gaming Week in Review podcast where we talk about what has interested us in the world of video games each and every week. But with that being said, let's get right into it. Okay, so the elephant in the room, it needs to be addressed right now. Yesterday we did a live stream and I did a reaction video for you guys over at YouTube. By the way, I do stream every Thursday, Friday, Saturday evening. If you want to check these podcasts as they go live, as they are recorded live, and I make mistakes and all that junk, check out our live stream every Thursday night. We record these. Link will be in the description for you guys to check that out. But basically, we live streamed the entire PS5 showcase. It was awesome. Had a ball. Excited. Hyped to pre-order PS5. Shut down the stream so I could do my reaction video. Got crazy in the store. We're like running around like nuts. Like this lady came in with like 1,400 bends. I'm exaggerating, obviously, but a ton of bends, and like it just got crazy in the store. I had no opportunity to do the reaction video until a couple hours later. Sit down, do the reaction video, go about my day, and then about 6 p.m. my phone is blowing up with people asking me about this PS5 pre-order. And I had no idea there was a PS5 pre-order because, as I recall, and I'm sure the rest of you guys recall, when they did the showcase and they did this overly dramatic reveal of the price, it's like, dude, just give me the price. We've been waiting forever for this price. So they give this overly dramatic reveal, and it's like why? Like it's $4.99. That's not cheap at all. That's not like stunning or amazing. You're just giving us a price. But anyways, that's just a small gripe. This is the big gripe. They hit us with the price, $4.99, $3.99. Yay, okay, I'm excited. Can't wait for pre-orders. Shut down the stream, go about my day. 6 p.m. rolls around. And everyone's blowing up my phone. Hey, did you pre-order it? I quickly rush to my computer to find out that all these retailers went live with pre-orders as soon as the showcase ended. And, you know, I don't think this is really PlayStation's issue. I mean, it's still a PlayStation issue because they intended for pre-orders to happen the next day. The next day! What happened to us getting a forewarning, Sony? I recall last week, Xbox hit us with release date and price for their system, and they gave us 2 weeks to get ready for this pre-order. It's still not a lot of time, but it's enough time to get ready. Come on, guys. Come on. Like, what? Really? Like, you're playing with us now? Like, come on. There's already limited quantity there. Like, at least give me the opportunity, right? Like, at least give me the opportunity to wake up in the morning with my morning coffee at 7. For me, that would be really early. 7 o'clock in the morning, swigging down a morning coffee, watching a countdown with my mouse in hand, you know, my information loaded in cart, so I can scramble to buy your crappy new system. But that didn't happen. They went live randomly and sold out instantly. And then I see a tweet by Sony, I think, or someone related to Sony, saying that pre-orders will go live the next day. It's almost comical. It's almost comical what happened. This was a complete and utter disaster of a console launch. And it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't. It's not something that I feel like it's, you know, like this year has sucked. And we have these two manufacturers trying to one-up each other, these two companies trying to one-up each other, going back and forth with the showcases and the games and just really stretching out the price release because it's this big chess match between the two companies, COVID-19 is happening. Riots are happening. The world is in a very, I'm a very optimistic guy about the world. I feel like the news media is very negative on, a lot of things. But there's also a lot of good things happening in the world too. But, we could be better, right? We got a pandemic happening. We got riots everywhere. The whole racial thing is going on, and it's just not a good time to release a console, guys. It's not a good time to release a console. And just a little bit of background information, without getting myself in trouble. I am talking to a distributor right now, and basically he told me, like usually when you're trying to sign up with a distributor as a business, they're very optimistic about what they have and what they have to offer and stuff like this. And this guy was like on the phone with me for like 45 minutes. He's like, man, I want to give you good news, but dude, these systems are scarce. Everything's allocated. And dude, like, good luck, because I'm sure he gets calls all the time, like these new companies trying to get in and get their piece of the pie with these new systems. And I'm like, dude, no, I already knew that the supply was going to be limited, but it's that limited. Okay. All right. So we're releasing a console in the worst year we've ever experienced in probably the last century. The worst year, period. I mean, maybe you could argue, I guess you could say there was actually some pretty awful years. Pearl Harbor is one that comes to mind. So there's been some pretty awful years, but this year has been pretty terrible, right? Like, as a whole, this year has been garbage. And we got these two companies trying to release a console when everyone is at home in China. Like, they're just now getting back to work, and they provide all this stuff. Like, just pump the brakes. Just delay your console. Focus on software for a year. Come on, guys. Like, what's the deal? Like, I was really excited about this, but this is really, like, it's kind of, I'm like, dude, if I wasn't doing this, if I wasn't doing content, I wouldn't be all hyped about these consoles, okay? Like, so Microsoft has no games at launch. They have their Game Pass, which is great. I love it. I've talked about it many times on the podcast. They have no games, though. Come on, dude. They have 2 horror games and freaking Tetris as their main titles at launch, which I do like. The medium looks pretty cool. I love Tetris, too. But come on, that's weak sauce, bro. There's really not much to say. So there's no real, outside of, I mean, they have done a lot for us as consumers, so I want to support them. But dude, wait a year. Wait till Halo Infinite is ready. Not just force it out there and then get backlash and then pump the brakes. Pump the brakes on the whole dang thing, dude. Pump the brakes. Make sure you have ample amounts of stock, because it's going to sell out in holiday season. It's going to sell out. But no. And with Sony, dude, Sony's even worse, bro. Like, they have games. Yeah, they got some games. They got some games I'm actually really excited about. Deathloop. I've always talked about Kenna. I'm really excited about Kenna, but that comes out later. Ratchet and Clank. The Spider-Man game. There's a lot to be excited about as far as games for Sony. But it still dude, they don't have any consoles. They have nothing to sell. So it's great to have games, but if you can't get a hold of the console, what the heck is it worth? So dude, I'm still gonna try to go for the Series X, but now that this PS5 debacle has happened, I'm like, okay, I'm out on the PS5. I'm probably not going to be able to get it until maybe the end of the year. Probably not. Probably more like March of next year is when this stuff's going to be readily available. I won't have to freaking, postpone engagements and mess up my sleep schedule to grab a console. Like, dude, like, what do they think we are? You know, I know what they think we are, and I'm not gonna get into that because, I know these podcasts get ranty, but I don't want them to get too ranty. I am a very happy person, but I'm passionate about this release, and the more I look into it, the more I research it and hear about it, the more I'm like, dude, what's so special about 2020 that these companies have to get their console out, even though the world's going to hell in a handbasket, and they still feel like they need to release a console? Like delay the thing. You're not ready. It's evident that you're not ready. You don't have enough stock to provide for the demand. This is one of the biggest console launches we've experienced in a long time. Like, it only happens, every 6 to 8 years. Take your time. There's a famous quote. I think it's Miyamoto that said this, and he said, and he was talking about games, but I think this relates to consoles too. Like, a bad game that's released on time is always bad, but a good game that's delayed is only bad for a little while. So delay the thing, dude. Make sure you got good stock. Make sure you got a solid, awesome release. I want to see a release from these companies where it's like these big retailers, people are going in and they're selling out, and they're like, yeah, you know the videos of these like older releases for the PS2, 3, 4, where they're like, yeah, I got my PS4, They weren't worried about stock. This wasn't a thing last generation. I don't feel like, let me know in the comments. Was this a thing when the PS4 first came out? Was it just super scarce, sold out the first day? I get it when it's a collector's edition, okay? They only want to do 1,000 of them. They only want to do 5,000 of them, something like that. But it's a console. Like, if you don't have a console, you got nothing. Okay, I'm done. And then I did want to just remind everyone, Sony had us register. Like, they had people go to their website and register. And if you go back to that site, to that link, just for fun, I'll put the link in the description of this video. If you go to that site and you go and check your registration, it says, oh yeah, you're all registered. We'll let you know. So maybe Sony's doing something that we have no idea about, but this is a mess, man. This is more than a mess. This is a disaster, as far as I'm concerned. And, unless they get these things figured out and they get enough stock in there for me to walk into freaking GameStop, Walmart, Best Buy, Target, where Amazon, wherever else you get consoles, and I can pick one up, I'm not gonna freaking, go nuts to try and get this console. I'm gonna wait a year and wait, or at least wait till March, just because of you guys. I have plans for the PS5, man. I got plans, and I want to make sure that those plans happen, but I'm not gonna bend over backwards. I'll do other things. We'll do mods. We'll hang out and mod NESs and like 64s and PS1s and stuff. Like, I'm not gonna deal with this. But yeah. Moving on. So to good news, all right? Good news and like semi good news. No more rants, guys. We had a little Nintendo Direct Partner Mini. Nintendo Direct Mini. No, is it Partner Mini? I think it's Partner Mini. Nintendo Direct Partner Mini today, and I missed it. It was actually scheduled. I could have done a stream this morning, but I've just been working my tail off at night, and I just didn't want to wake up that early. So we're just gonna do it on this podcast. I'm gonna go through my reaction of each and every game. I watched it right before we started the podcast, so it's all fresh in my mind. We had some cool announcements and some announcements that okay, these are awesome, I guess for the right person. And the first two games that we got were a couple of Monster Hunter games. Right out of the gate, they're hitting us with some Monster Hunter titles. And Monster Hunter, for me, is a series that, I've dabbled in. It's not really for me, but I know it's for a lot of people. So I wanted to talk about it. Looks like it'd be a totally good game. So the first Monster Hunter game is called Monster Hunter Rise. As far as I can tell, it's actually being made exclusively for the Switch, which I may be wrong. Please let me know in the comments if I'm wrong on that. I didn't do a whole lot of research on these, so forgive me. But I'm just giving kind of reaction. So looks like it'd be a good time. It's a bit of a different look with the Monster Hunter series. Usually when I think Monster Hunter games, I think like hyper realistic graphics. At least the ones that I had played, they're like really trying hard in the graphics department. And this one looks a little bit more playful as far as the art design goes. I mean, the game looks cool. It looks like it's a linear game, just like most of the Monster Hunter series, with the exception of Monster Hunter World. Looks like a fun game. I like the little grapple thing, like in the trailer. The main character uses this grapple, and it's very anime. So if you're like a big fan of anime games, I feel like this is really right up your alley. So I don't have much else to say. Looks cool. Comes out March 26, 2021, so we got a little bit of time. And then we have the second Monster Hunter game. It's called Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin. And this one looks a little more... This one I'm a little more excited for. And I've said in the past on these podcasts that I'm kind of like feeling that cartoony art design, games getting back to just being that, just games. And I know that like the new console comes out, you want to put those Call of Duties out, you want to put those racing games out, those like graphically, console hardware pushers out. But I'm also excited about just kind of 3D platformers kind of having a bit of a renaissance in the gaming industry, and just more like I wouldn't say shallow, but just more like friendly and fun and uplifting like types of games, Nintendo-y types of games. I want to see more of that. I want to see that have its place in the gaming world and not so much be like all about the graphics. It's like we don't need good graphics for a game to be good. Like that's a very small part of the whole of a game. So this second one, Monster Hunter Stories 2, is very it's very Pokemon kind of style to it. The art style I love. Reminds me of Breath of the Wild too. It looks like there's a cool story behind it. I mean, it is in the name. It better have a pretty decent story at least. So looks like there's a pretty cool story behind it as well, and one that I think I might give a try. The first one, probably going to pass. Second one looks kind of cool. Maybe give it a try. Maybe it's, I know this is stretching a bit. I think this game is geared towards a younger audience. It's meant to draw that Pokemon audience in, but maybe it has a little more depth. Maybe it's a little less shallow than typical Pokemon games are. Maybe it's more for an adult like me that maybe grew up with Pokemon, revisited it, not as big of a fan as I was when I was a kid, and maybe it's for me to try out. So may or may not give this one a try. Let me know in the comments if I should. Yeah, so and then also I did like the art style of this one better than the first Monster Hunter that was that we took a look at, and then also this one is going to be coming out in summer 2021. So we got a ways to wait for these two games. They're still in development, so we'll have to see. The next game we saw was Fitness Boxing 2. This is definitely gonna be a pass for me because I'm totally spoiled. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of VR, and there's a little game called Box VR on my headset, and it's better than standing in front of a TV screen. Like, that's still, like, Nintendo, that's very, very gimmicky. Maybe it sells some stuff still. Maybe grandmas are buying that, but I'm not gonna sit in front of a TV anymore and pretend like I'm, like, physically in front of it. Like, come on, guys. Like, VR is a thing, and VR is a much better platform for games like that. However, if you don't have a VR headset, I do want to say this. Boxing games will kick your ass, like, absolutely destroy you. So it may look kind of silly and fun, but, like, if you want to, like, actually exercise in your living room and you don't have a VR headset, maybe something to try out. If you're trying to trim down that waistline a little bit, maybe give it a try. Comes out December 4th, so we don't have very long to wait. So yeah, that's that. Disgaea 6 got announced. Another game. I'm not a big RPG fan, guys, so I'm not the best guy to talk about this, but I did want to mention it because I know that you guys like Disgaea. So Defiance of Destiny, it's going to be, I didn't see a release date for this one, but it looks cool. I mean, it's a Disgaea game. It's a turn-based RPG. You should know by now if you're going to want a Disgaea game or not. But if you didn't know about it, maybe, and you're into turn-based RPGs, Final Fantasy, games like that, Dragon Quest, games like that, then you might want to check this one out. And if you do want to check this one out, it looks like Nintendo Online is going to be having a limited, a limited special. Disgaea 5 will be available on Nintendo Online between September 23rd and 29th. So if you already have a Nintendo Online subscription, go and check it out. You might find a game that you're really excited about. So that looks cool. And then we got a couple small little announcements. Empire of Sin. This is a kind of mafia, mafia sort of strategy game, sort of like a rags. This is the way I interpreted it. Sort of like a rags to riches, like, you got to out chess match the other mobsters, and they actually have, like, real mobsters from the past, like Capone and all that. So it's New York style, so if you kind of like that LA noir thing and you want something in, like, an indie style strategy game, this one might be for you. It's not for me, though. Sniper Elite 4. It's coming out this holiday. Obviously, you guys should know Sniper Elite is a really fun first-person sniper game, and we've had a few of them released on the Switch already. I think I actually have one in the store for sale, and, it's fun. I mean, it's cool. I'm not the biggest fan of putting these bigger games, 3D, like real-life simulators is what I like to call them, on the Switch. I just don't find it that fun. I'd rather play it on my Xbox. If you're into that type of stuff, go check out my friend Official No Friendo's channel. I'll put a link in the description because he's always all over this, and he makes some amazing content. So I'll give him a little shout out in this podcast. Go check him out. Go subscribe to his channel. I'm sure he's gonna be all over this when it comes out. But it comes out holiday 2020, so we don't have a long time to wait for that. And then we have The Long Dark. It's a survival post-apocalyptic game. Looks like it has a little bit of first-person shooter in there. It's very indie. The art style is very Unity-driven. It looks all right. I can't really go much off of the cinematic trailer, but it is coming, and I think I didn't get a release date for that. PGA Tour 2K21, hard pass. Could care less about playing golf on my Nintendo Switch, but if you do, there's nothing wrong with that. If you like golf in real life, you own a Nintendo Switch. It has online multiplayer, which is really cool. If I was into golf and golf games, I would be all over this. So shoot. Who doesn't want to go, shoot 9 or 18 when you're sitting in the waiting room at your local hospital waiting to get tested for COVID? I mean, I don't know. So if you're into that stuff, you already know who you are. Go check it out. PGA Tour 2K21. That's cool. They're bringing back golfing games, so that's a good thing. More sports games. That's cool. So yeah, check it out. Hades is another dungeon crawler. It's kind of got that isometric view. Reminds me of Darksiders a little bit. Getting some Darksiders vibes from it. If you don't know, recently Darksiders actually released a isometric view version of their game, or THQ Nordic did. And this one looks a lot like it, but it looks like it has its own kind of flair to it too. So looks good. If you're into dungeon crawlers, I think you're going to really love this one. Balan Wonderworld. This is an old school platformer. This game looks, or it's a 3D platformer. And like I said earlier, 3D platformers kind of making a renaissance. Pretty cool. This one looks very cheesy. I don't know if it's like just an early release that they're showing here, but it doesn't look like it's running all that well. And it almost like maybe they're purposely doing this because it reminds me of those old like 3D games of the past on the PS1 and the 64 and Sega Saturn. Like it reminds me of Croc. Remember Croc? Like the control, like it was charming and cute, or Gex, or Chameleon Twist. There was Glover. There was like a ton of those games where it was like they didn't quite have the camera nailed down yet, so you like it was really kind of wonky as far as controls go. This game looks kind of like that. It's made by Square Enix, which is interesting, because usually when you see Square Enix, it's usually a pretty well-developed game. So we'll have to see when it comes out and actually try it, how it actually feels. It looks kind of cheesy, but it does have co-op play, so that's always fun whenever you can, do that patented switch, unclick the two Joy-Cons, hand one to your buddy, and play together. That's pretty neat. So it's gonna have co-op play, and it comes out next year, March 26, 2021. Rune Factory 5, this one is another anime style game, something that, it's not really for me. Kind of looks like an Animal Crossing though. You're doing some fishing, you're doing some, real life sort of stuff. You're like tilling the land and growing things. And like, it goes from that where it's kind of like subtle and cute and fun to like full blown turn-based RPG, like doing, the whole anime thing with like the, overly dramatic, like, and all that stuff. And you can even get married. So it's like kind of a blend of like a turn-based RPG and a like Animal Crossing type game. So looks kind of cool if you're into Rune Factory. And there's another one coming, Rune Factory 5. And then finally, for the Nintendo Direct Mini, it seems like almost they saved the best for last. I mean, there were some cool announcements, but Ori and the Will of the Wisps. This game, this game is the game that I'm most excited for through this entire Direct. The Ori just feels like it was made for the Nintendo Switch. Like, when I think Nintendo Switch, I think about games like this. This is the type of game that you can jump into, enjoy, and then back out at any time. That's what I think when I think Nintendo Switch. This is a Sunday game. This is a game that you can play and not, it's not something that's like overly competitive or like, sensory overwhelming. It's a beautiful game, but it's like kind of that therapeutic sort of game, and I feel like it's just made for the Nintendo Switch. I know it's gonna look beautiful in handheld and docked. It's not a graphically demanding game, so it's just gonna run really well on the Nintendo Switch, because that's where the Nintendo Switch thrives, is games that aren't super graphically demanding. So I can't wait. And then also, it's cool that this is coming out on Switch, because this is a game that's on Game Pass right now. So if you have Game Pass, you can go and check it out. And if you like it, you can buy a physical copy. And whenever I buy a physical copy and it's multi-plat and it's like this type of game, this is a game that I don't like to play on my Xbox. This is a game that I like to play on my Nintendo Switch. So we can grab those copies. Actually, Will-O-the-Wisp and Ori and the Blind Forest are both. Or no, I'm sorry. Will-O-the-Wisp and there was another one. We'll put it up on the screen. Are both going to be available in physical copies. And they're also available digital right now. So you can go and check it out on the Nintendo Store. And as I was saying, physical copy, there's also going to be a collector's edition for that. And yes, I have all the information right here. So the collector's edition is going to come with physical editions. Oh, here it is. Physical editions of Ori and the Will-O-the-Wisp and Ori and the Blind Forest, just like I said. Okay. And they're featuring exclusive cover art and it's region free. This is going to be available at I Am 8-Bit. We'll link that in the description for you to go and check it out. It's going to come with a premium transforming display box and glow in the dark finish. And this thing looks really nice, guys. We'll put it up on the screen so you can check it out. It folds out like this and all the stuff fits right in the middle of it. It's a very well put together. It looks like a collector's edition. So I'm pretty excited about this. I might actually pick this up, depending if I'm, because I still need to try these games out, but I'm going to actually try them out. And if I like them even remotely, I will probably end up getting these. Also comes with a majestic stained glass style art piece. So I guess stained glass goes with the game. So they went with that. And then it comes with a flora and fauna of Ori field guide. So I guess this has some sort of connection to the game, which is fun. It looks like it's not an art book, which is kind of the typical deal with these collector's editions. Usually get an art book of the game, and it's a fantastically beautiful game, so you would think that they would go with that still, but it comes with a field guide. Maybe it's some sort of guide for the game. We'll have to see. A sketchbook zine featuring rarely seen product art, collectible art card set, so like those nice, like, pretty decent size pictures, almost like a photograph that you can frame and stuff. So if you're a big Ori fan, maybe that's something that you might want to do, at least while you're busting out the game and playing it, kind of like fill the ambiance of the room. I like doing that. Only when I put them up, they never go down. So maybe we'll have to get these, and maybe I'll have to change that poster of a game that I never play. Looks cool though. Looks kind of cool. But it comes with digital cards for Ori and the Blind Forest and digital download cards for Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will-O-the-Wisp soundtrack by composer Gareth Coker. Gareth Coker. And then, of course, the physical editions. So that is going to do it for the Nintendo Direct Partner Mini. And that's going to do it, actually, for most of the podcast. We do need to finish, though, with our comments of the week. And we actually have 2 comments of the week. And I couldn't pick between the 2 because they're both great comments and they're both ones that I wanted to respond to on the podcast. So I do what I want. So the first one comes from Official No Friendo. I just mentioned his channel earlier when I was talking about the Sniper Elite 4. This one came from last week's podcast when I was talking about the Xbox Series X and the financing options, and he said, when I found out that we gamers could finance the new Xbox Series X and S, I was kind of relieved. If Xbox can practice the consumer-friendly model the entire time with these new consoles, it will set them apart from Sony. agreed. Especially with Game Pass, I'm all in Xbox. So after this last showcase, maybe he's changed his mind a little bit, but that is an excited and awesome comment, and thank you so much, Official No Friender, for that comment. I completely agree. I love that Xbox is doing everything that they can to try and get the gamer their system, basically. Like, they're trying to get their system into everybody's houses, you know, with finance options, with Game Pass included. Like, it's such an insane offer, and I'm so excited for the Series X and Series S. I'm excited to see what they do, not only at launch, because their launch is going to be a little tough with there not being a whole lot of games, but 2 and 3 years in, where are they going to be at when these consoles that people have financed and they're kind of locked in for 2 years, right? They're at the same time, they're kind of locked in and they're bought into Xbox for 2 years. So Microsoft has 2 years to get some games out, some exclusive must-have titles, and I think they can do it in those 2 years. So it's a very strategic move, and on the other side of the coin, for us as consumers, it's a beautiful thing, man. We get a chance to pick these consoles up and not have to pay full price right out of the gate, and we can pay it off in 24 months, Game Pass included, and there's no interest. Come on, dude. That's a fantastic deal. So Official No Friendo, once again, thank you for the comment. Awesome stuff. And then I had another comment actually to my PS5 reaction video, and this actually ties in with the beginning of the podcast, from Dark Knight Prepper. And he said, "I'm seriously angry how PlayStation did their pre-sale. I was all set to pre-order mine today. I was told today was when they went on sale, and when they had and then they were already sold out." That sucks. Like, that's literally what I just said. Like, you know, Dark Knight Prepper, he had his morning coffee. He was, you know, he was kind of groggy probably. He's up all night playing video games. But he wanted his PS5. He was hyped to get a PS5. He wakes up. He does it. He played by the rules, guys. He played by the rules. And what did he get? Well, he didn't get jack. I'm sorry, Dark Knight Prepper. Dude, you're not alone, bro. I'm in the same place, man. I wanted it. I thought for sure this thing would not be on pre-order sale right after the showcase, unless they told us in the showcase. But they didn't. And it was sold out before either one of us could get our copies. So, love you, man. I feel the same way. These retailers suck. Sony sucks. But you know what? They don't suck that bad. We'll get our consoles, and hopefully we all have a lesson to take away from this. When you have a pandemic in the world, when you have a hard time making consoles, when you have riots going on, when the world is in a state of turmoil, don't release a new console! Just don't do it! Please! But once again, Dark Knight Prepper, thank you so much for that comment. I really appreciate it. But that's going to do it for this week's podcast, guys. Thank you so much for joining. And if you got value out of this video, do me a big favor and smash like, as well as subscribe with bell notifications turned on for more content just like this. But that's enough for me. I want to hear from you now, guys. What do you think of that PS5 debacle? Total mess. I don't like it. And what console are you going to get this holiday, if any, after this showing, man, and what's going on? I don't know. If I was in your shoes, I wouldn't. But let me know in the comments. And what game are you most excited about from the Nintendo Partner Direct? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. But until next time, Luke from 8-Bit Plus, signing out, and I'll see you in the next one. God bless.